Are you struggling with FBA? It's time to learn why. Let's get started.
Alright, number 1, having the wrong goal. So, most of you probably watched those videos or took the courses that explain how you could make $10,000 in 2 months. They showed you the step-by-step guide on how to do that, and you probably became convinced that that's how you're supposed to do FBA correctly. Unfortunately, if you decided to do it that way, and then built that mindset and goal to make $10,000 in X months with your first product, you put yourself in a bad situation from the get-go. Here's the first reason. It's because you immediately fall into a trap. When your goal is to make $10,000 a month or whatever in X months, the thing is, you're not going to tell yourself, oh, I'm going to do that over 4 to 5 products and really take my time with it and learn as I go. No. You have a Lambo that's calling your name, okay? A house, a job you're 2 conversations away from quitting, and a dream life that you want to live that's just right around the corner. And you're going to want to get there as soon as possible. So, what happens? What happens is you go big or go home. You're going to try and find a product that does at least $10,000 a month, and the higher the better. And I don't blame you. The gurus are telling you to do it that way. Other people have done it. You've seen the videos that tell you how to do it. It almost seems like it's the most logical thing for your first product to do $10,000 a month in the next 2 or whatever months, as long as you're taking action. So what happens is you're doing your product research. You plug in your filters. Gotta follow what the guru says. It's step by step, remember? Hey, it's gotta be doing at least 30 sales a day. It's gotta weigh a certain amount. It's got to fit within a shoe size. It's got to be between $20 to $50, and it's got to make between 35 to 45% profit margin. And then you'll finally find that perfect segment of items to choose from, right? Well, let me tell you something. You're not the only person that's watched those videos and took the course. When you only look for those setups, you're diving headfirst into where the majority of your competition is hanging out. And no, you're not being clever by adding a few dollars on both ends, okay? And reducing a few numbers. Everyone else is doing that. So if you found a good product following that step-by-step guide, so has 100, 1,000 other people. See the problem? What you need to do is when everyone's doing one thing or doing it one way, consider going the opposite direction. Okay, if everyone's finding suppliers on Alibaba, try other platforms like HKTDC, or even other countries. If everyone's finding products by using the same product research tools, try finding your products a completely different way. Go backwards. Find a supplier who is clearly a supplier, not a trader, and someone who just seems to be really nice and helpful. And ask them for their catalog. Ask them things like, hey, have you sold any of these to the US? If yes, move on to the next one. Here's another thing you could try. Make a list of everything you buy or see for the next few days that would sell on Amazon. Then research them by keyword search volume and explore that niche even if it's outside of that normal range of what to look for. If you do this for a week and really spend time doing it, you'll find a winner. And it's not going to be crowded. Okay, the second reason having this goal is bad is, and just warning you, what I'm about to talk about is a bit abstract, but if you're struggling, this may really shed some light into why. Okay, it's that your dream is not your goal. Okay? Your dream is not your goal. And yet a lot of us have tied those two things together when we started FBA. And it's not your fault. When we learn about FBA, we were sold on the dream. And not only that, we were told to make that dream our goal. And this has caused many of us a lot of grief. And this mistake doesn't just pertain to FBA, it's a mistake I see in many other things over and over again. You see, a dream is a manifestation of what we imagine our life could be like someday. The problem is that no matter how realistic it sounds, even if it deals with numbers, if there are no clear practical inputs for explaining how that outcome will occur, it is and always will be a dream. Just because we add a timeline into our dream or add "my goal is" to the beginning of a dream sentence does not automatically make it a goal. Yet in our minds, we've accepted that it is. So if I say I want to make $10,000 a month, that is not a goal. That is a dream. If I say I want to make $10,000 a month in 6 months with FBA, that is still not a goal. That is a dream. Even if I say my goal is to make $10,000 a month in 6 months with FBA, that is still not a goal. That is a dream. In fact, it's actually the byproduct of a series of goals. And what happens when we accidentally make our dream our goal, which is what happens to most of us who start FBA, is that our emotions and sense of fulfillment ride and die behind an outcome that we can't explicitly control. This leads to being falsely discouraged, which leads to more negativity than inaction, and ultimately this downward spiral towards failure, which all stem from just having the wrong goal. Okay, let me expand. For example, let's say I want to lose weight. If I say I want to lose weight, is that a dream or a goal? If I say I want to lose weight in 3 months, is that a dream or a goal? If I say my goal is to lose 10 pounds in 3 months, is that a dream or a goal? Your first instinct was probably, yes, it is a goal. And if not, it's because you're starting to understand what I'm trying to say. If that was a goal, I would have a clear understanding of what clear practical inputs I would need to do in order to lose 10 pounds in 3 months. But there is a gazillion and one ways to lose 10 pounds in 3 months. How can that be a goal when you don't know exactly what you'll be doing and measured on to achieve it? See, this is why it's terrible to make your goal lose 10 pounds in 3 months. Losing weight is a dream. It's a desired and abstract outcome with no practicality behind it. In fact, it's actually a byproduct of doing and maintaining a specific set of activities to achieve that result. If you want to achieve a dream, you need to create a set of goals that will push you towards that dream, not just make that dream your goal and state it as a goal. So a person trying to lose weight should not make the goal to lose 10 pounds in 3 months. Their goal should be founded on practical inputs that can be measured to achieve that outcome. For example, my goal is to go to the gym 3 times a week. My goal is to stop buying snacks at the store. See, that has practical inputs, something you can tangibly do and achieve. If you keep going to the gym 3 times a week, you will consistently burn calories, which is necessary for losing weight. If you keep avoiding snacks, you will consume less calories, which will help you also eventually lose weight, which is that desired dream, lose 10 pounds in 3 months. Do you see the difference? If you just make your goal to lose weight, you might try all kinds of things and it probably won't work. Even if you did, you would gain it right back because your goal isn't grounded on continuing to do the specific set of activities that caused you to lose weight. Basically, you won't keep yourself accountable to keep doing whatever caused you to lose weight because you never decided that that activity was the trackable goal you needed to continue to do and to get that sense of achievement that you're doing the right thing. It was just to lose weight, whatever that means. In reality, what would happen is, since your emotions and sense of achievement are tied to your weight, once you stop doing whatever you did that caused you to lose weight and suddenly gain 3 pounds after losing 10, your emotions would kick in. You don't know why you're gaining weight, even though you've been putting in effort towards your goal of losing weight, and then you would fall into a negative feedback loop of, oh, I can't do this, this is too hard, I'm not capable of this, whatever, I'll try again next time, and probably gain it right back, and sometimes more. That's why you need to focus on correct goals that you can explicitly affect with a clear sense of accomplishment rather than around your dream. Now, tying this all back to FBA, this is what happens to a lot of people. You make it your goal to reach $10,000 a month in 3 to 5 months. Okay? You crunch the numbers and decide that the product you found can achieve this goal for you. Then you consciously and subconsciously begin to build expectations on what's going to happen once your product arrives on Amazon's warehouse. It's called goal setting, right? But then things don't pan out. You run into a roadblock. Suddenly you're frustrated because you want to hit your goal that you mapped out on paper or in your head and it's not happening. Then you run into another roadblock. Suddenly, not only are you frustrated, but your goal starts to feel more like a fleeting thought than reality. Eventually, you might get a few sales, and you're back on that goal tracking and dreaming again. But next day, no sales. You ramp up PPC budget and still nothing. Confusion, frustration, you start having anxiety. All that planning and tracking and goal setting are all going south. This isn't what I was told. Why is this happening to me? Why is this product not selling? Why do I keep running into this issue? What am I doing wrong when others are clearly having success? I'm nowhere near my goals. I feel like a failure. This product is a failure. I'm a failure. Soon it's been 1 week, 2 weeks. You've barely looked at your seller account. And then, goals? Now you don't even want to open your platform because you're afraid of seeing how little sales you did for the day, week, and how your dreams and goals have basically shattered. It's time to give up. Does anyone want to buy my failed products? Anyone want to buy my account? And that's the problem with a goal like this. You fell into the mindset trap. And all that negativity, what you failed to realize is that you were going the right direction. That doubt, anxiety, confusion, roadblocks are things every successful FBA seller ran into at some point in their journey, and that you simply had to push through a few more roadblocks to achieve success. That if only you had the right expectations, the right goals, everything would have changed. If you're trying to lose weight, should you make your goal to lose 10 pounds in the next 3 months? If your goal is to succeed with Amazon FBA, should you make your goal to make $10,000 a month in the next 3 months? Do you think if you made it your goal to go to the gym 3 times a day and kept at it, you'd have a sense of satisfaction? How about if you stopped buying snacks? Would you get a sense of satisfaction doing something you don't want to do, but knowing that you're that much closer towards your dream body? If you made it your goal to just do these 2 things, do you think the odds of you losing weight would be higher than if you simply said your goal is to lose weight? This is what you need to do with FBA. Your goals need to be based on tangible activities, things you can measure and do that compounded will eventually lead to success with FBA and fulfilling all your dreams. For example, making your PPC campaign more profitable, or increasing your conversion rate, or getting on the first page for a keyword you're looking to target and seeing if that increases your number of sessions. Now, those are goals that you can measure, assess, and tangibly work on. And when you run into roadblocks, you're not going to feel discouraged. You're going to understand that this is that small hurdle you need to overcome in order to achieve your goal and move on to the next one. Number 2, having the wrong strategy. Okay, so what you need to ingrain is this right here into your understanding of FBA. Everything you do, whether you're tweaking things, doing XYZ, whatever needs to fall back to this. Number of sessions times session percentage equals X sales per day. Okay, that's it. As long as you figure that out and you just work on these 2 things, you are going in the right direction. Your strategy has to align with improving these 2 things, always. If you're spending time on Facebook groups, liking other people's success stories, or answering other people's questions, or watching videos about other people doing well, or getting distracted on whatever else, you're not focusing on improving these 2 things, and that's why you're not succeeding. You might think you're putting in work towards this business and that you're learning, but if all that work and learning doesn't improve those 2 numbers, you're never going to see improvement. Fact. So here's what you need to do. Every single day, yes, every single day, do one thing that's going to improve that equation. I guarantee you right now there is something you haven't done that you could do right now that will improve that equation. You need to make it a habit to learn, try, and experiment to get that to improve every single day. I'll make it even easier. First, focus on improving your session percentage. Improve your descriptions. Make sure your images are the best. Make sure your copy is good. Make sure it looks really good on mobile. Those are basics. The easiest way, however, to increase your session percentage is to just have the best product. But that's common sense and something you've heard a million times. It's much easier said than done. But there are ways, or rather a checklist, that you can run so you know your product is the best one there. Imagine if you figured that out. Now, if you realize that your current product isn't the best one or one of the best with a differentiator, go back to your supplier and make it the best. If your supplier can't do it, then find someone else. If it's going to cost you money, then save up money. It might take you a few iterations. You might have to go back and forth with suppliers. Remember, this is a business, not a get-rich-quick side project, and it's going to take time. The sooner you accept that, the sooner you're going to stop taking the quick and easy path and eventually see real success. See, that's why my first product took me 3 months to launch, but now does over $20,000 a month and is more expensive than my competitors. I put in the work. I didn't go for the quick wins. Now, yes, it does that much now, but one thing I do want to mention is that I had the foresight to understand that even at $3,000 a month, I considered it a success. I wasn't comparing my numbers to other people. Okay, I was satisfied with those numbers, and rather than focusing on what other people were achieving, I just kept on learning, implementing, experimenting, and of course running into roadblocks again and again to get to this point, all while launching other products. So even if your product only did $1,000 in sales the last 4 weeks, it is a success. If you've got a $1,000 a month product, I or someone else out there is willing to buy that product from you. Okay? So you're doing well. Don't fall into that mindset trap I talked about earlier, and just focus on improving that product and expanding to a new one. Okay, so once you've optimized your session percentage, then focus on bringing traffic and eyes to your product, i.e. number of sessions. Okay, and the best way to get eyes to your product is getting on the first page. I come from an SEO background. I understand what it means to get on the first page for a main keyword. And Amazon has basically become the Google search for products. If you get on the first page, ideally the top of the first page, that product will succeed, period. You will get the majority of sessions and the majority of sales. And the equation of getting on the first page is really not that hard. First, make sure you're being indexed for that keyword and make sure it's in the right place. You should know what I mean. Then, it's the simple equation. X sales per day equals first page, aka how many sales do I need to do per day to get on the first page? Once you have this figured out, everything becomes easier. Let's say you've determined that it's 30 sales a day. Then, you know, whatever you do, whether PPC or influencers or giveaways or Facebook mini chat, your goal is to hit that amount per day. Sooner or later, you'll get on the first page, then get an influx of sessions to your product, convert them into sales, and snowball into even more sales, resulting in moving up on the first page to eventually to the top of the first page. Now, one thing I want to mention is that giveaways, especially the deep discounts, don't move the needle as much and aren't as effective. How do I know this? Because I've spent more time learning and doing FBA than you. Okay, that's the point I'm trying to get across. I've put in more effort. If you didn't know that, you need to go back to the drawing board and study more about FBA. If you did know that, then take action on it. The next natural roadblock you need to solve is, how much more do I need to give away to move that needle? See, this is the kind of thing that differentiates a successful seller from a non-successful seller. Becoming this kind of seller, this kind of entrepreneur, is how you will succeed when most others fail. Alright, that about wraps it up. So I hope you got some value out of this video. Feel free to reply below if you have any questions, or if you want to join my group, feel free to ask your questions there as well. Good luck.